Good morning, students. Here I am continuing the Wolf crystal shapes. Here you can see this Wolf plots is given. Here you can see this increasing the how it is increasing the energy on the 1,1 phases, showing the energy remains of the 1, phases. How it is defining. You can see this. The length of the arrow is proportional to the surface area of the faces. Length of the arrow here clearly shown that the length of the arrow is proportional to the surface energy of the faces. Here you can see the surface energy of the faces. Okay, longer arrow denotes the higher surface energy. Longer arrow, whichever the drawing shows that the longer area shows whichever the arrow having the longer side, or whichever the side having the longer arrow, that will shows the higher surface energy. Similarly, the crystal shape. Here you can see this. The longer side shows the smaller energy. Similarly, the smaller side shows the higher energy. You can see this. This side is having the higher. You can see this compared to this. It's having the higher energy phases. Here you can see this. All the sides are having the same area. So equal energy having the equal sides having equal size of the energy. Next, derivation of the ideal crystal structure. Here we are going to see this. Kinetic forces are only the thing is the whole crystal shapes are idealized cases where the crystal surface energy determine the shapes. Crystal surface energies are used to determine the shape of the crystals, then with help of the thermodynamic controls. Okay, then dynamic factors often play a major role in a crystal growth. This explains why different processing conditions can lead to different morphologies for the same material. Next, here you can see this altered lattice constants. Okay, here you can see this the lattice structure, the original structure. This is the original structure, and this one is showing the sorted surface bonds. This here the structure is varied with the compared to the original structure. Then shifted the surface bonds. Here the structure is also varying with help of when comparing with the original structure. The first line is varying. Okay, that the first line atom is varying. Okay, compared lattice structure of nano and bulk materials, shortening of bonds near the surface destruction. So with help of this, the surface energy also varying. Mechanical strength. So mechanical strength. Okay, next slide is explaining about the mechanical strength. Here the mechanical side is explained. Mechanical strength is explained with help of these two possible reasons. The question is calculated first. Initially calculated the value for mechanical strength idealized for stalls 100 to 10,000 x, then experimental. Differentiate between the wires and nanocomposite. Transition to higher strength occurs at about 100 microns. The reason is lower number of defects inside the nanowires and fewer surface defects only. So with help of these two things, the it having the better mechanical strength. Next, optical properties. Here the size of the dependence on the optical properties of the nanosize is two important distinct phenomena is one is surface plasma resistance for metal and the next one is increased energy level spacing due to confinement of delocalized energy states, most prominent in especially in semiconductors. Here optical parameters in the optical properties as initially explaining the surface plasma. What is surface plasmons? Recall that metals can be molded as an arrangement of positive ions surrounded by the sea of free electrons. Here it is that you can see this how how positive electrons are surrounded by the sea of free electron. The sea of free electron behaves like a fluid and will move under the influence of electric field. Here you can see this. With the help of the electric field, it will be surrounded the positive electrons. Then SPR is nothing but a surface plasmon. Okay, surface plasmon. Okay, then surface plasma only. Collective of oscillation of the free electron gases density often at optical frequencies. They in this diagram clearly explain the electrical field. So due to the electrical field, metals where the electrons, okay, electronic oscillation, how it will be active, electronic with help of the free electron gas density, optical frequencies, how it will be activating, okay. uh, Surface plasmons confined to surface and interact with light resulting in polarities, propagating electron densities waves occurring at the interface between the metal and dielectric. Interface between the metal and dielectric. Here you can see this. Okay, this diagram clearly explaining the surface plasma resonance, light in resonance with surface plasma oscillation. Here you can see this laser light shows us it striking at an angle, then it will be at an angle, it will be striking to the photodetector. Then with help of this we can clearly explain the surface plasma resonance, okay. Then surface plasma, if the electric field is oscillating, here you can see this electric field is oscillating, okay. Then the sea of electrons will oscillate too. Here you can see this sea of electrons. Electrons is also oscillating, okay. These oscillations are quantized and resonate at the specific frequency. Such oscillation is called as plasmon. Such oscillation is called as the plasmon due to the dielectric effect, okay. The electrons cloud will be oscillating at a particular percentage, that is called as the plasmons, okay. Surface plasmons, formal definition, plasmons are the coherent excitation of free electrons in a metal. Here you can see this is the coherent oscillation, coherent excitation of free electrons, okay, in a metal. So that is called as the plasmons. The plasmon resonance frequency depends upon the particle size, shape and material type. If it is related to the plasmon energy by Planck's constant E equal to hf, okay. Surface plasmons are confined to the surface of the material. The practical properties of the metal nanoparticles are dominated by the interaction of the surface plasmons with the incident points. Then surface plasmons in metal nanoparticles like gold and silver have plasmon frequency in the visible range only, okay. Visible range only it will be available. When the white light impinges on the metal nanoparticles, the wavelength corresponding to the plasmon frequency is observed. It will be observed. Then the spectral location strength and the number of plasmon resonance for a given particles depends upon the particle size and shape. Here they will clearly given absorption of the spectra of spherical gold nanoparticle. Spherical gold and this is the wavelength. So for that wavelength, the absorption is, okay, absorption is given, okay. Material requirement, material with free electrons. Example, these are the materials, okay. Pb and Ng, Hg, Sn, Cd and copper, gold and silver. Then what are the frequencies they were used? Ultraviolet frequency and VHS. These are the frequencies they were used, okay. And these are the metals, okay. Then material requirement, material with free electrons. Gold and silver are the most commonly used. At the same time, aluminum and copper may be also suitable for the materials. Similarly, the same thing only given. How does SPR work? That means SPR work, okay. Here the Crispin's experiment will be clearly explained. In the system, a metal film thin enough to monitor the plasmons, okay. Here the metal film slide is given in the upper direction. So a plasmon can be thought of as a ray of light bound on the surface, propagating among the surface and presenting itself as an electromagnetic field. Here it will be act as an electromagnetic field, and due to that it will be reflecting, okay. Then in the optical properties, once again the surface phenomena explain the shape dependence of the absorption spectra, the amount of light that is scattered into the far field of described by the scattering cross section. The scattering cross section is plotted against the wavelength. Here you can see scattering cross section is when it is increasing, scattering section increasing, okay. depending upon the wavelength at a particular thing only. Okay, scattering section at the oval shape, it will be increased, okay, up to particular level, then it will be same to the all the light is used to illuminate a particle from the specific angle only. At a specific angle, the arrow indicate the illumination angle and their color corresponds to the different plot lines. Then shape dependence of the triangular shaped nanoparticle produces plasmon with altered frequency and magnitudes high. Here you can see this, the triangle produce higher, okay, higher scattering, having the higher scattering cross section, that will be produced higher frequency, okay, not a higher frequency, that will be at a 400 wavelength, it will be very high. Then energy levels from atoms to bulk material. The Pauli exclusion principle states that the electrons can only exist in a unique and discrete energy state. In an atom, the energy states couple together through spin orbit interaction to form the energy levels commonly discussed in an introductory chemistry courses. Initially, we will study in the chemistry courses. When the atoms are brought together in a bulk material, the energy states form nearly continuous band of states. Yearly they were given continuous band of state bulk material, okay, or in semiconductor and insulator, the nearly continuous band separated by the energy gap. Yearly they given energy gap is 1, okay. Next, energy levels in semiconductor and insulator, the valence bond corresponds to the ground state of the valence electrons. In semiconductor and insulator, a conduction band corresponds to the excited states where electrons are free to move about a material and participate in the conduction. In order to conduction to take a place in a semiconductor, electron must be excited out of valence band across the band gap into the conduction band. This process is called as the carrier generation. Conduction takes place due to the empty state in a valence band and electrons in the conduction band. Here they were clearly given how it's happening. In a semiconductor and insulator, a photon with a energy equal to the band gap energy is emitted when an electron in a conduction band recombines with a hole in the valence band. The electronic band structure of semiconductor dictates its optical properties, okay. And these are the slides will be explaining. As a result, as the spacing between energy bands of a semiconductor or insulator is increased, similarly to the particle in a box scenario of introductory quantum mechanics, okay.